Hey, what's going on, all my fellow backyard astronomers? This is Stargazer1 coming at you from Buckeye, Arizona. And this afternoon, I am pleased to bring to you the review on my latest addition to my telescope lineup, the King, the brand new Meade LX90 12-inch ACF telescope system. This is the largest aperture LX90 that Meade Instruments offers today. And if you want to go bigger than this thing, you're going to have to go LX200, LX600, or LX850 because this is the big boy. This is the only one that is in a 12-inch aperture with the LX90 line. I acquired this particular telescope in mid-April 2014 via Amazon.com, and I paid the sum of about $2,800 plus free shipping to go ahead and have this big boy delivered to my house via UPS. When the telescope did arrive at my residence out here in Buckeye, Arizona, it came in two packages. It came in the package for the standard field tripod, which I'll show you guys here in a couple minutes, and it came in an enormous, huge box that obviously housed the 12-inch optical tube assembly, forks, and the base. Okay, two boxes, gigantic, huge. As a matter of fact, when UPS knocked on my door, I signed for it. They went to the back of the truck. It was two big burly dudes. They lifted this thing off. I saw it. My eyes went as big as saucepans. Okay, I did not realize how big this telescope was going to be until I saw the box. But rest assured, no damage to the telescope. Shipped fine. Signed the paperwork. Bada bang, bada boom. They were on their way, and I'll set up my telescope in my living room to go ahead and check it out. A couple things you will get with a Meade LX90 ACF system, whether it be the 8-inch, 10-inch, or the 12-inch. Again, this is the largest aperture model Meade offers for the LX90 line. There's a few things here. It is going to obviously ship with the Meade instrument manual. There it is right here. Now this manual is very robust. It has a lot of detailed information in regards to the operation of your telescope system, maintenance, and how to care for your telescope. It also has limited warranty information from the factory as to how to go ahead and contact Meade if there is a flaw in workmanship, if there's a malfunction on the telescope. All that information is in your manual, so you can go ahead and contact Meade and have it repaired, replaced, or whatever needs to be done. Okay. The manual itself is about 59 pages long. Has a really lot of good information in it. It covers the 8, 10, and 12-inch LX90 advanced Coma-Free telescopes, which is what this one is, particular model behind me. It also covers the 8, 10, and 12-inch LX90 standard Schmidt-Cassegrain telescope models. So it's a multifunctional manual. It covers all the models. Inside of the manual, you will receive a couple things here. Let me go ahead and pull them out, and I will show you one by one what documentation you do get with your telescope. Let me go put the manual to the side here. First thing you're going to get is this nice piece of paper. This is another part of your Meade warranty information, and basically what this says is important notice for U.S. and Canadian Meade telescope owners. If you have a problem or a question about your new Meade telescope, call the 1-800 number. Meade's customer service staff is highly trained in telescope instruction and service. I'm sorry, I'm trying not to laugh, right? I don't know if that's true, but hey, they send you a cool piece of paper saying it may be true. Do not return the telescope to the store because Meade wants to have the first crack at trying to diagnose your telescope and find out what's wrong with it. So this is a piece of paper that comes in your manual. Okay, we put that to the side. You also get the AutoStar, the 497 AutoStar, and the AudioStar manual. Or the addendum. AudioStar computer controller basically shows you all the steps and procedures how to operate your AutoStar or your 497. Okay, AudioStar. It shows you everything you need to know how to operate that. So that comes with your manual. Okay, it all comes in a little plastic sheet. It's kind of cool. The next thing you get is, obviously because you get a standard field tripod with all these models, is your standard field tripod instruction sheet. Now this basically covers how to properly use your tripod, how to properly store it. It tells you how to properly install the lock, the spreader bar, the T-ring locks, and everything else. So you can see right there, you see all the instructions right there. Let me pan around a little bit. You see all that. This comes in your manual as well. And again, like I said, all these models do in fact come with a standard field tripod. Okay, so that's also included in your manual. Now that's the paperwork part of the manual you're going to get. You also get like a postcard of Meade Sky Insurance. They send you a free offer of astronomy.com. All kinds of little knickknacks and goodies. I don't really have those right now in front of me in the man cave here. I don't know where they went, sorry. But we did cover the basic documentation, the important documentation that you will actually receive when you order this telescope. Now let's get to the hardware accessories. Every Meade Schmidt-Cassegrain, whether it be an LX90 Schmidt-Cassegrain or LX90 ACF, is going to come with your 1.25-inch adapter for the rear cell of your Schmidt-Cassegrain or ACF telescope optical tube assembly. Okay. Now what this guy basically enables you to do, it screws onto the rear cell, and this enables you to go ahead and use a 1.25-inch diagonal to go ahead and start your observations or your imaging, whether you're using a DSI, a LPI camera. So this little guy goes in just like that. Okay. There's your tightener right there. This is the Meade standard 1.25-inch star diagonal that Meade ships free with the telescope. This and the adapter are included in the telescope box, so Meade really starts you off right there. Along with your telescope box, you'll also receive, with the adapter and the 1.25-inch prism, you get one of Meade's awesome Meade Super Colossal 26mm multi-coated Series 5000 eyepieces. Okay, and it's still in the little package right here. And it ships in a really nice, cool little Meade. I love these. Meade has some awesome eyepiece covers. I love these things, the little boxes that store them. Really tough. They screw down in there. Let me see if I can show you that. It's just really cool. I feel like a kid at Christmas. I love telescopes, and I love it when I buy a new telescope. You get all kinds of cool stuff. Anyway, very versatile eyepiece, Series 5000. These are still very popular in the amateur astronomer and backyard astronomer community. You'll find lots of these at star parties, and they work very well. I own several of these. I have some very coveted models that were made in Japan, and I still use the 26mm Series 5000 Colossals pretty much for everything. They're awesome all-around good eyepiece in the 1.25-inch format. And if you want more information on that, go ahead and go on my YouTube channel and check my video for the Zamel eyepieces, and I go into detail about these eyepieces. But you get this with the telescope you order from Meade, whether it be the 8, 10, or 12-inch model. This is one of the accessories that comes standard in your telescope box upon delivery. Another interesting little feature that Meade threw into my box was this little guy. Now, if you go on Meade's website under LX90 accessories, basically what this guy is, he's an adapter. You can plug into your AudioStar controller, okay, and you can update the firmware for your hand controller. This also acts as a standalone auto guider port. Now, Meade, over the years, a lot of customers have been really up Meade's butt about making the LX90s auto guide capable. Now, they can be auto guided when they're in their polar configuration. And Meade has finally decided to come out with a auto guider port that will either plug into your 2 auxiliary ports on the side of your computer control panel right here, or it will plug in to the base of your AudioStar controller. Now, a quick note about auto guiding these new LX90s. If you want to use this adapter, which is included in your telescope purchase, you must use the AudioStar hand controller. Let me say that again. For all you guys out there and gals running on the old software, the 497 AutoStars, the auto guiding feature will not be supported by your hand controller. In order for this to work, in order for this to enable, you need to be using the brand new Meade AudioStar controller. Okay, so keep that in mind. As a matter of fact, a quick note on the controllers, Meade is discontinuing the 497 AutoStar models and will be replacing them definitely by the end of this year with the Meade AudioStar controller. So, if you're still running on the old system, I highly recommend right now to you that you go ahead and update to the AudioStar hand controllers. They're a lot easier to use, they're more refined, they have a lot of cool audio programs that really fill you in on information about objects you're looking at, and you really can't go wrong with that. Okay. So anyway, you get this in the box. This is the dedicated auto guider port and the software updater for your hand controller. And naturally, the telescope came with a awesome Meade 8x50 starfinder. Now this is a straight through model, okay, it's not a right angle. The telescope, as you can probably see in the video right now, I did upgrade to my older 8x50 polar finder scope, and it does have a right angle and an illuminator and everything I put on it, so it works a lot better for me, so you don't have to hurt your neck. But this guy is pretty cool. It's aluminum. The bracket itself, when I first took this out of the box, I assumed it was plastic. It looked like plastic, but in fact, in all reality, this is aircraft aluminum. It's anodized aluminum. It's a very rigid little mount for it. It comes with a dust cover in the front. It has gorgeous, beautiful sapphire coatings. Look at that. Amazing. I love Meade coatings on everything. They just make everything look so pretty. On the back of your viewfinder, it is a diopter adjuster. Okay, you see that moving right there? So this enables you, if you're wearing eyeglasses like myself, to go ahead and adjust for your eyeglasses to get a sharp focus on your stars. Okay, nothing really special about this. It has a standard duplex reticle, but it does work. It is functional. I, however, recommend that if you are serious into astrophotography or just stargazing in general, keep this as a backup and go ahead and buy a right angle finder. Okay, it's a lot more comfortable for your neck when the telescope's up about 80 degrees. Okay, this is a standard feature that comes with your brand new LX90 ACF, whether it be 8, 10, or 12-inch model. So that pretty much covers everything in the box that comes with the telescope. Let me show you the tripod here. Here it is. Here's the tripod that ships with the Meade 12-inch. As you can see, I already have it kind of retrofitted for the star parties. Got my little lights on the lake so it doesn't get kicked. It's a very lightweight tripod. Probably weighs about 25 pounds. And it's a good tripod, don't get me wrong. However, I do believe that this tripod, in my opinion, is a little light compared to... it's a little too light to hold up a Meade 12-inch. Because this telescope right here, the big daddy here, the king, the telescope, fork, assembly, and the OTA all combined, this telescope weighs in at about 60 pounds, okay? And if you were to compare that with a standard 8-inch Schmidt-Cassegrain, you're looking at about 30 to 35 pounds. So this is a lot more weight to be putting on a tripod that was designed to really carry an 8-inch telescope, okay? Ergo, that's why I kept my trusty, let me see if I can pan down and show you that. That's why I kept my trusty little giant field tripod right there, and it works very, very well. Okay, so a couple things about the telescope. So it's 60 pounds. That's the weight of this telescope setup. Okay, 12-inch primary mirror. It has ACF optics, and we'll get into that as opposed to Schmidt-Cassegrain and what that really means. The length of the optical tube assembly is 25 inches long. The diameter of your optical tube assembly is 14.2. It is huge. It is enormous. I know the video really doesn't do justice. I mean, let me see if I can stand up here and let me put my head next to this thing. I got a big head. Okay, look at the size of this telescope. This is the only way I can really give you justice here. I mean, I'm backed away from the camera, standing at this telescope. It's almost as tall as me, and the thing is huge. So this, again, is the big daddy. So we got multi-coated optics, okay. Ultra-high contrast. This telescope is equipped standard from the factory with the ultra-high transmission coatings, or UHTC. It is advanced Coma-Free, and right now we'll cover that. All basically what that means is an advanced Coma-Free setup, there is no coma at the edge of your field of view. On standard Schmidt-Cassegrains, because the way the optics are designed, if you go to the very edge of the field, if you take a star to the very edge of your focal field, or your field of view, you're going to see a little bit of coma. You're going to see like a comet tail effect. Well, the ACF corrects for that with various differences in the angles of the primary mirror, the secondary mirror, and there's a slight different angle with the corrector plate as opposed to a standard corrector plate from a Schmidt-Cassegrain. That's the only difference. In reality, this telescope still is a Schmidt-Cassegrain in shape, function, and form. There's really no difference other than that the optics have been slightly rearranged, and the measurements are a little different with the corrector plate in the mirrors. Okay, that's the only difference. That's why you get the advanced Coma-Free. Okay. I love the exterior finish and fit of this telescope. I love how Meade put these badges on the left and right flank of the optical tube assembly. It really shows that this telescope means business. It stands out, and it's really, really cool. I really love the crackle blue exterior of the optical tube assemblies that Meade is now going to, as opposed to the smooth blue. Looks really cool. It's got awesome, it's a pretty strong telescope. It's got some pretty rigid forks for an LX90. One of my concerns, and a lot of concerns that a lot of the subscribers have brought to me on this, they were concerned about the shakes with this telescope. Was the 12-inch tube undermounted with an LX90? Well, I've had almost 3 months to test this telescope, ladies and gentlemen, and I can tell you without a doubt, if you leave the telescope in its Alt-as configuration, which is what it's in right now, there is no issue with vibration. There's no issue with the shakes. The telescope is rock solid. I was very surprised. I thought for sure I would get some shaking of the with the images, but it works like a charm. There's no issue with that. Okay. The focal 10, it's a focal 10 setup. This is the native focal ratio of the Schmidt-Cassegrain, a focal 10. This big boy has some serious power to look at the planets, the moon. I've looked at deep sky objects with this thing, and it blows my mind. It's a really powerful telescope. The diameter of the main mirror is 304.8 millimeters. Now, a standard 12-inch mirror is 304.0. Everybody knows Meade. They take the primary mirror a little bigger than the listed aperture, and the reason they do that is so to ensure that your telescope is getting the maximum light that mirror is designed to gather. Okay, that's all that is. Meade always goes a little oversized on the mirrors, hence 304.8. Okay, it is a catadioptric system. On the back of the telescope, it has a very robust focuser. It moves that big mirror no problem at all. I have no mirror flop. I have no sloppiness. I have no image shift. It's a very solid focuser. I'm very happy with it. And naturally, I got my 2-inch diagonal on the back. That's the one thing I upgraded to. On the right fork arm, you obviously have your computer control panel with your auxiliary, your hand box, your power, on and off switch, and your secondary auxiliary. Okay. On top of the right fork arm, this telescope is equipped with GPS on site. It has the Sony 16-channel GPS receiver mounted up in top right here. And naturally, you see my 8x50 right angle finder. The telescope is controlled with the AudioStar hand controller, and it does come with the bracket right here. A couple of my subscribers and a couple of the reviews I've seen online in regards to this telescope, they put Velcro either on the right or the left fork arm. They'll put Velcro on the insides of the fork assembly itself, so they can go ahead and attach their controller so it doesn't fall off and hit the tripod or hit your ground. However, I have noticed that if you adjust the if you adjust the hand controller bracket properly, the telescope will in fact clear that bracket, no problem, and you will still be able to pull out your hand controller and use it. Okay, so don't be afraid to use your hand controller bracket. Meade threw it in. It is a $20 part. They gave it to you for free with the purchase. Go ahead and use it. Okay, let's go ahead and lock this guy back up. The limiting stellar magnitude of this particular telescope is 14.8, where opposed to my 8-inch Schmidt-Cassegrain, my Meade LX90 EMC, the limiting stellar magnitude was 14.0. So this is a big, hefty jump in aperture. It can really resolve a lot of faint stars, and I couldn't be any more happy with the performance. Well, let's go ahead and fire it up. I want to give you guys a demonstration of the motor assemblies and let you hear the telescope, let you hear how it runs. We're going to go ahead and do a, let me turn my camera here a little bit. We're going to go ahead and do just a quick alignment. We're going to act like we're just going to pretend we're out back. We're going to pretend we're pointing north, and we're just going to pretend it's going to go ahead and do its thing. So align, easy. We're going to do a true north, just to let you guys hear the motor operation. Right now we're slewing to Arcturus. We'll let it go around here real quick. Now before I continue with the demonstration alignment here, again, this is a 30-pound OTA, ladies and gentlemen. The forks, OTA, and the base of this telescope, again, weighs 60 pounds, okay? And I can tell you there's no motor backlash, there's no play in the gears. The gears sound fine, everything sounds fine. It's just a testament to the power of Meade's motor drives. I mean, this thing's huge, and it whips it around like it's nothing. So you won't have any problems with that if you are concerned about drive reliability with the Meade LX90s. They're a solid design. They're rock solid. They've never really had an issue with them, and they run good and they're reliable. And they are loud. Meade has always been loud with the drives. We'll get away the camera for you. Yeah, just do that guy real quick. And right now it's going through its little thing. So, like I said, we'll pretend we saw all that. Enter. Align successful. So it's a very user-friendly audio star system. It's very easy to align these telescopes, and the controllers work perfectly. There's nothing wrong with this. Let me go ahead and park the telescope. And then we'll continue with the review. It's a beautiful, beautiful telescope system, ladies and gentlemen. I could not, like I said, I could not be any happier with this guy. Back to north, as close as I can get it anyway. Okay, shut it off. So, once again, in closing with the drive demonstration here, again, this is a 30-pound OTA. It's a 12-inch ACF OTA, and the motor drives both in right ascension and declination, alt-azimuth, whatever you want to call it. It whipped this thing around like it was nothing, okay? Very well balanced telescope, very robust LX90 fork arms. They're not as hefty as an LX200, but they do the job at dampening vibrations. They do in fact support this OTA very well. I have no issues or problems with that. If you have concerns or fears that this may be a little undermounted on an LX90 platform, please put your fears at rest. I have it right here in flesh and blood, and I've used the telescope for 2 months. I've never had an issue. The only thing I would recommend is if you want to start putting accessories onto your telescope, as like an 80mm refractor on top or some imaging gear, always get the Meade counterweight system for this to help balance your tube, and you won't have any problems with that. Okay, it's a very well built telescope, ladies and gentlemen. And like I said, I've had a dream for over 10 years of owning a 12-inch Schmidt-Cassegrain, and I finally had the opportunity in April to get it, and I couldn't be any happier. Telescope runs very well. It comes with a good tripod. However, I believe the tripod is a little undermounted, so I went ahead and went with a giant field tripod. The telescope does work on the standard field tripod. Just be prepared for a little bit of vibration because it is a big telescope sitting on little tiny legs. Okay. Other than that, it's an awesome telescope. I can't find any flaws with this thing, and that was one of the things I did for over 2 months. I purposely tried to make this telescope fail to see what the reliability of it was, and I could not, for the life of me, find anything really wrong with it. It's a beautiful telescope. It comes with great features. You cannot go wrong with this telescope. If you're thinking about picking up an LX90 ACF, whether it be an 8-inch, 10-inch, or the King, the Big Daddy, right here, you can't go wrong. And for the killer price of $2,800, come on, guys and gals. I mean, that is pennies for an outstanding optical system that I have right here. Over the next couple weeks, well, probably next month or so, but right now we're in the monsoon season out here in the desert of Arizona, and we're getting a lot of storms and cloudy weather right now. So probably right after August, I will go ahead and take the telescope back out, and I'll start taking some images with it to put those up on my YouTube channel. so you guys can see the proof in the pudding. You can see the pictures and see what this telescope is capable of. If you have any additional questions, technical questions, or you just want to know a little bit more about the ACF systems and the 12-inch, the beast as I call it, feel free to hit me up on my YouTube channel. You can find me there under Michael Skokakis or Stargazer1. I have all my email information and contact information there if you want to go ahead and fire me off a message. I'll be more than happy to answer any questions you guys have in regards to the Meade LX90 ACF 12-inch. And it's an all-around great telescope. I can't say enough about it. This is an amazing telescope. Meade, you did a very good job with the LX90 ACF. You get 2 thumbs up in my book. Great job. A+ to Meade Instruments. They kept a solid LX90 telescope line, redid the optics on it, added some bells and whistles, and it's still an outstanding and viable platform that you can use today. So anyway, that concludes the Meade LX90 review, and this is Stargazer1 from Buckeye, Arizona, saying clear skies, keep your telescopes pointed up, and we'll talk to you later. Have a nice day.